What up, everybody? What's happening? What's happening? Let's see. What are we doing here? Hold on, y'all. Just checking my monitor. And it's not showing me the live. No worries. I don't care. Anyway, just coming on real quick tonight. Got to be up early in the morning to take my daughter to the airport. She's flying out to California tomorrow. And so I figured I'd make a quick little daily commentary before I head back to Fort Pierce. It's going to be a long night tonight. I think she has a 5 a.m. flight in the morning. So got to get back to Fort Pierce and then take a quick nap and get up for a 2-hour drive to Orlando. But in any case, how's everybody tonight? I hope everybody is doing well. There is a lot going on in the world as usual, mainly because of Tronald Dump and his nonsense. But I don't even really want to talk about him tonight. Not really. Oh, excuse me. Except this, though, real quick. Sending out my thoughts to the people in Jamaica. And not just some thoughts, but some donations and some food assistance as well. We'll be sending out tomorrow to try to help out. We're going to do our small part to help them become solvent again after a devastating hurricane. But heard some good reports coming out. Some areas that were expecting to really get hit hard didn't catch as much hell as they thought. Oh, excuse me. Oh my goodness, I'm so sleepy already. But in any case, hopefully everybody in Jamaica will pull through and things will work out for the better, in spite of all the devastation. I seen some pictures and video that finally got out. Man, it had to be a rough day yesterday for Jamaica, and I think Cuba got hit today, even though it was only a Cat 3 or 4, I believe. But I'm not saying only as if that's any better. It's still a dangerous storm, and now it's headed for the Bahamas, which is literally right off our coast here in South Florida, about 90 miles away. So we were very fortunate that that storm didn't come our way. Even though I was kind of hoping for a bad one this season. But isn't it weird? Not a single hurricane touched the U.S. this year. That is really something remarkable. Doesn't happen very often. Usually at least one or two. But nothing in the Gulf this year. And I mean, even though there were, I think there were, what are we up to? M. I mean, there were a few storms, but Nothing came ashore here in the U.S. So that's crazy. Excuse me, man. I'm like really tired. It today seemed like a very long day. We're running around uh, trying to help my daughter uh, get her suit picked up. She's going to a wedding in Cali, so she rented a suit, and we weren't sure if it was going to get in today, And then after we picked it all up, found out they set it to be returned on the day she was getting back here. Oh. But they told her that she could turn it in to a Men's Warehouse out in Cali. So I think she's going to do that so that she doesn't get charged. I think they charge $20 a day, when they're late returning a suit. So she didn't want to spend an extra $20. You know what I mean? So, because nowadays you can't say it's only $20. $20 is a lot of fucking money nowadays. The economy is crazy. They keep saying the economy is strong, and it may well be, but let me tell you something. People are broke. Prices are ridiculous. Grocery prices, as Trump would say, such an amazing word, groceries. This motherfucker ain't never been in a grocery store a day in his life. But I wanted to come on tonight because I had a question. It's been eating me up. All right, so our elected officials are picked by us, and they're supposed to be serving us. Whether we voted for them or not, they're still they are still supposed to serve all of the people of the United States, or all of their constituents within, their districts. My question is, how do we get rid of them when we have buyer's remorse? When politicians are elected, how do we get rid of them if they're not doing their fucking job and they need to be fired? I don't like the idea that we have to wait till the next election day. We should have some sort of recourse to get rid of a politician after they get elected and it turns out that they're just the most fucked up employee on the planet. Because the way the system is now, the only way a politician can be removed is if those same politicians vote to remove them. So does that make sense? We have to count on them to basically remove themselves, to fire themselves. I don't like that idea. I don't like that idea. We, the people, need to have a way that we can get rid of these motherfuckers when they're fucking up. Like the president. It takes the House of Representatives to impeach him, but then the Senate is the only ones that can remove him. But when all of the House of Representatives and the Senate are sycophants to the president, then what? Then what? When he's doing a horrible ass fucking job, and then the House and the Senate and the Supreme Court are kissing his ass and sucking his dick, then how do we get rid of him? How do we get rid of the congressmen and the senators or the justices for that matter. That's another thing. Justices are a lifetime appointment. They're not elected. So who came up with the idea of making that a lifetime job? We didn't vote for these motherfuckers. So basically what I'm saying is the system is fucked up, which we've already known. We've known this for decades. And we know that it's time for change. And I think that's what we're going through now. I really believe, as much as I dislike Donald Trump, I think the universe put him there for a reason. I think everything happens for a reason. And in the whole grand scheme of things, which our feeble human brains probably would never understand, but I think we're on our way to an awakening. And as bad as it is now, and I believe it's going to get much worse before it gets better, I think this is something that we all have to go through right now. You know what I'm saying? I can't say that, it shouldn't be happening, because I think it probably should be happening, because I think it takes something like this to open people's eyes and open people's minds, to make them aware that, hey, we were getting complacent, we're getting lazy, and people definitely gotten lazy. People don't even want to get out and vote anymore. They don't want to participate in the system because they're so disillusioned, and they feel like the system doesn't work for them. I feel like it doesn't work for me sometimes. But I'm optimistic, and I do believe that, sometimes, we have to have chaos in order to get everybody to reset and come together and get back on course. But there's so much shit going on in the world now. I often wonder, can it be fixed? I don't know. I hope so. I believe it will be. Honestly, I truly believe that we'll get it together. But I don't think it's going to be easy. I think it's going to be a long road to recovery. For us, for us all, actually. I think that, as time goes on, we're going to have to find a way to come together and get our lives back on track, because it really is out of control right now, as you all know. But I don't want to get into the details of that right now. I'm real happy with the way that our studio has come together in the past few weeks. I've had to spend money that I really didn't want to spend, but there were things that we needed around here, because I'm getting ready to, get serious and take this thing, to another level with the show. And not just the show, but I got a couple of other shows that I'm adding to the network. And so, I'm really about to make that move and rent some office space and build a proper studio. And we're still going to have the mobile component, obviously, because I want to definitely start getting back out, because I don't need to be sitting in studio all the time. I got to get my ass up and moving around if I want to stay healthy. You know what I mean? I don't want to just sit and wither away doing a broadcast every day and, getting fat sitting on my ass. That's what got me in trouble the first time, with my recording studios. I spent so many years in recording studios, sitting on my ass all day, every day, that my health suffered for it. So I'm trying to fix myself now and get back, to a healthy living, I always ate right. I was never a bad eater or anything like that. I just wasn't active enough, which is crazy for me because growing up, I was heavy into martial arts and boxing, combat sports, and so I was always working out and doing all the things to keep my body healthy. And then as I got older, got married, started having kids, now I got grandkids, and now my ass is just lazy as hell, and I think a lot of us, have hit that point in our lives, now that we're older. And I'm just speaking about people of my generation, us 60 plus year olds, you know, um, growing up, a lot of us were athletes, and we weren't like these kids now. We didn't have a lot of fat kids, when I was a kid. We were all in shape because, you know, even in school, we were, getting, real physical, at recess and shit like that. It's not, and we didn't have all the junk food that these kids are eating now. We had snacks, but not like today. We didn't have vending machines in school, and we just weren't eating real crazy, like these kids are now. Now, man, there's so much processed food and junk that these kids are putting in their bodies, and even the so-called healthy food ain't good for us now. So it's just different. The world is just different. Everything. Yeah. So, but like I was saying, I'm getting myself back to a healthy state physically and a healthy state mentally. Uh, and, getting refocused on doing some things here in my later years. Because I definitely got more days behind me than I got ahead of me. That's a fact. Um, you know, and that's okay. You see, I think a lot of people too are afraid of getting older. And I used to be. When I was young, I was like, man, I never want to get old. But now that I'm older, I couldn't imagine being young right now. I would not want to be a high school graduate right now, getting ready to face the world. It, it, that would have that has to be a daunting feeling now, thinking about just this simple cost of living. Seems like it's out of reach. For most, and I don't know. I just don't know how I would feel right now as a high school graduate, getting ready to jump out here and try to, you know, make it do what it do. You know what I'm saying? So, more power to you youngsters out there, and let me be the first to apologize to y'all for fucking up the world and leaving y'all this mess that we're in now. I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry. And because that's our generation's fault, y'all. Somewhere along the line, we dropped the ball. We dropped the ball bad, and But while I'm still here, I'm gonna try to do what I can to fix at least my small part. You know what I mean? So hopefully you all do the same. We gotta make this stuff better, man. Especially for the grandbabies. I look at my grandkids now, and I am terrified at what they may be facing once they grow up and start preparing to get out here in the world. Is there even going to be a world for them to get into? You know what I'm saying? Because we might just blow it all up, any time now. Shit's just ridiculous, man. So that's that. Again, I apologize to the next generation. I just never really thought that it would get this bad. I never thought it could ever get this bad. And it's bad, and we have to admit it. We have to admit how fucked up it is before we can start working on making it better. So, there it is. What else, man? I'm excited though. I'm really excited because we just signed on a new podcast that we're going to start co-producing and managing. It's called On the Mark Podcast with Mark Haddon. He is a local sports figure who's done some major things. He's like one of the number one scouts in the country. I think currently he's scouting for the Sacramento Kings professional basketball team. And he's also a trainer. He trains, gets kids ready for, college and pro leagues. And he played a few years in the European Basketball League. So he's been out there for a long time. He's been doing some major things. And so we're going to help him put together his first podcast. And I think it's going to be, sports related, but also hopefully you'll have some great storytelling in there, because I'm sure he has some great stories to tell. And then there's two other shows that I'm working on, trying to get on board with us. I'm not going to speak too much about them right now, not until I get the contract signed. But there's a lot going on behind the scenes. I haven't just been sitting on my ass procrastinating like I was before, and spending the last few weeks, since I've gotten a cleaner bill of health. I've been spending the last few weeks, really working on some things. So I want to build a channel. Started thinking about my legacy, and I don't really care about a legacy, to tell you the truth, but I just want to build something that I can leave, for at least one of my kids, whichever one wants to get into this thing, but definitely something I want to build that will take care of, the rest of the family as well, the grandkids and such, and maybe a few other families, depending on who comes on board with us, and joins the team. Because I am looking for team members, so if you're interested in, working at an upstart internet channel, which isn't really an upstart because it started 17 years ago now, but we're bringing it back to life. So hit me up, inbox me, direct message, email, call us, let me know if you're interested in working with us and building it, a solid network. I'm looking for on-camera personalities, anybody that has a show, they want to produce a show, but they just don't, have the financial wherewithal or the equipment to do it. I got all that, so all you got to do is bring your idea, let's chat it up and make it happen. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't adding no fluff, to the sales pitch. There's no sales pitch. Let's just build something that we can all eat off of, plain and simple. I can't make it any more clear than that. Let's see, what else is going on other than craziness? There's a lot of good things going on. Here in Fort Pierce, city's coming up slowly but surely. They're they've revived talks about expanding the airport. Um, I've heard some rumors about a couple of the major airlines coming here to operate, which would be awesome because the airport is literally a mile down the street from the house here. So that'd be awesome if we have if they expand the airport like they're talking about. Then I won't have to be going all the way to Palm Beach or Fort Lauderdale or Orlando to catch flights out, or to fly back in. You know what I mean? So let's open up St. Lucie County Airport, or actually it's Treasure Coast International Airport is the official name. So they need to go ahead and make that, fully realized. It's been a long time coming. I mean, they built the damn airport, what, 20, 25 years ago, and even, it might even have been 30 years ago, spent a whole lot of money. Back then, I think they said there was about 40 million in federal investment to build the airport, and then all of a sudden, it just went dead, nothing. I mean, it's been operating, but only, small, private flights, and FedEx. FedEx has been flying in and out of here for quite a while, and they're the biggest thing, but not even so much because they don't bring a lot of flights in. But hopefully all that's going to change. The airport's going to get busier, which is a good thing and a not so good thing, because if once the airport does expand and they increase operations, it's obviously going to create traffic issues here on St. Lucie Boulevard, and the noise volume is going to go up, with more jets flying in and out. But you know what? That's the price we pay for progress. So in the meantime, though, we're going to be working on, like I said, getting a few more shows on the channel up and running, and turning this into a real network. Got to get the domain name back online this week. That's really most important as far as the website goes. And then we'll be streaming directly to the website, which I will be so happy once we get that going again, because that's our platform 100%. We got our own servers and everything, so we'll really be able to do the shows that we truly want to do, and not have to worry about being shut down, by server owners and the powers that be. No corporate influence at all. And for those of you that know me, that's the way I've always been. When I first started my record label and production company back in the day, I was all about independence. And I stress independence. I stress ownership. And that's what's really most important to me in terms of putting this channel together and getting back out here. But I got to get my energy up too, man, because it's a lot of work. It really is. I don't think most people, really understand how much work goes into putting together just a 1 hour broadcast. And when you're a one man band like I am right now, you're talking about literally the entire week, doing research and pulling B-roll video together, which I don't use a lot of right now because it's hard for me to get out, shoot the B-roll, come up with the show and episode concept, and then splicing all that together. That shit's it's a lot of work. But it's what I got to do. So I'm gonna, really start, getting off my ass and doing the work that I'm supposed to be doing anyway. So, but we're gonna get there, especially by this new year coming up, and Crazy Baby TV World is gonna be, breathing new life into the local media and hopefully global media. I do want us to be, recognized, on a global scale. I've watched other networks that have launched within the last, year to 15 months that have absolutely exploded. You know what I mean? So there's no reason we shouldn't be able to do the same thing. It was just a matter of me getting serious and getting off my ass and making this shit happen. So there you have it. I better cut it here so I can get me some sleep. I got to get on the road to get home to get some sleep. And then up at old dark 30 to get my daughter to the airport so she can catch her flight. All right, so everybody, have a good night. I will probably be on tomorrow, most definitely, to talk about current events and whatever. No format just yet. We're gonna just kind of we're gonna let the universe tell us what to talk about. So, but until then, everybody be easy. Have a good night. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel on YouTube at Crazy Baby TV World. Help us out with the algorithm. Won't cost you a dime, I promise. I don't have any merchandise to sell you and no products to push, so don't ever worry about that. At least not yet, because I don't know what any of the other shows are going to do in terms of their promotion, but I just don't do that. All right, I'm your man's Ken Jackson. This has been the Ken Jackson Experience. Until next time, peace.